What's good, Riot Army? We here doing commentary for y'all on the first handful of episodes of Out of Bounds, giving y'all the inside scoop on what goes down whenever we actually making these episodes.
All right, over here is episode 1, the first one we did of Out of Bounds. And I know when we did this, like honestly, I don't even think this episode's very good. And this was the first episode we did doing vertical.
I don't like this episode either
Yeah,
anymore.
this was the first episode because we were doing Real Ballers before this, and it was always horizontal landscape view, and we never did captions. So this was us just trying something new. So we did vertical for the first time and added the captions to it. And first episode we did just fucking exploded. I don't what this episode do, like 1 million views on TikTok immediately and gave us like
Yeah,
20,000
It did a
followers.
bunch.
it went fucking crazy.
But this episode is not very good because if you watch this one versus like the newer podium episodes, it never even cuts to a reporter or anything. Like the camera stays on Dame, and the audio isn't very good in it either. Like the episode was super rushed. Like I remember like making this and animating this shit in literally like an hour and a half, and just dropping it just to see what would happen, and then it just fucking exploded. And
Yeah,
we
this
were
was our
pretty much
test
just
run.
like, oh shit, we have something here. Like doing vertical with captions, this is the way to go. And after that, like Out of Bounds became a thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, before this, we were doing 45-second to a minute videos too. So everything that we tried here was just a test run for everything.
Also,
And
can we
it-
talk about this comment? No, go ahead.
it does got funny stuff in it. Like
No, it's definitely funny. I'm always down for like the diss. Like that's not a real award. So did Ben Simmons. Like it's definitely funny. It's just not produced very well.
But also, Draymond Green should have been the one screaming that at him. You know what I mean? So like that's.
we didn't find that out till later though.
I know.
Can we talk about for a sec when Dame made this comment though how whack it was? Like I don't think that ring should be the only thing that matters. I don't like where the NBA is going as a whole. Like you're just complaining about not having a
Well,
ring.
we made this shit
real
like
shit,
3 or 4 months ago, though, and all of a sudden, rings are important, and I do want to leave.
I think he's got a point though, because obviously rings are the most important, even when you're measuring legacy. But people talk about like that's like the only thing that matters, you know? Like the way they
And it's not at all.
yo,
Okay,
it's
but think about it like this.
all the
think
rings.
about-
And now it's like he's the bar.
It might not be rings might not be everything. However, though, give John Stockton 2 championships and see where he ranks on the all-time point guard list, having like 2 untouchable records and all
That's
that
true.
shit. Like, rings
Yeah.
don't matter. Rings aren't everything, but you'd like to at least see, a trip. A trip there is nice.
Yeah, they're not everything, but they're what separates the haves and the have-nots, you know?
Let's actually talk about this a little bit too, because Dame's talking about I don't think rings are the only thing that matter. So let's talk about the other things that matter. All NBA, All-Star games, scoring titles, MVPs. Like these things do matter, but you don't have none of those either.
He's got teams.
He's got all NBA teams. He's got all-star teams. He has a bunch of shit.
I know, but like he doesn't have he's never even sniffed MVP. He doesn't have a scoring title. Never sniffed that either. Like he's never making all defensive teams. Like
Top 75 though. Say something.
hey, I ain't mad at it, and I'm not even mad at him being on that list.
I'm not mad at him
It
being
was
on
a
the top
fucking killer.
75 list. Like if AD can make it, then this motherfucker definitely can. So
Yeah, I think he's got top 75 talent, definitely, but definitely not top 75 accolades though.
well, I'm just saying championships might not be everything, but wanting to go to the team that just lost the finals means that you're thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all he thinks about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like you thinking about it.
Hey, I ain't mad though. I love Dame. I mean, the thing is, like, he's a hard player to rank all time because, like, we've talked about it lots of times. Like Russell Westbrook is higher than him on the all time list because of accolades. But I mean, we literally watched Dame outplay this fool
more times than not.
Like, so how do you rank this guy?
I mean, he probably like when it comes down to it, if you got Russ on your team and you got Dame on your team, like your chances of winning are higher with Damian Lillard, and
That's
really always had been. But Russ is Mr. Triple Double, so he gets to be top 50.
Hey, and when he gets triple double,
It depends though, dog. You put both these dudes on a team with scrubs, I guarantee Russell Westbrook's team wins more games.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel the same about that.
If you put them on there with scrubs, like they're just different guys. So like obviously,
like whenever we watched them play in the playoffs, the Dame busted their ass in like 5 games, and their teams were about even. And Russ even had Paul George on his team.
Them shits wasn't even. Russ had a better team. This dude had Paul George and Melo, Steven Adams. Like, y'all was solid from top to bottom. Built.
I don't think Melo was there that year. I think this was the year after. Melo was only there 1 year. I think
this was the year after Melo, and also Paul George's shoulders were wrecked. I don't want to make excuses for these guys. You guys should have won that series, but at the end of the day,
Dame showed out. You can't take that away from him.
No, I'm not trying to. It's just,
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying in general.
I feel you.
Dame came to play.
And he
kind of like showed why he should be on top 75.
For sure. And it's not like it's his fault. Like, I know he doesn't have a scoring title, but this cat just averaged like 31 and a half a game. It's just a lot of years of getting 31 points a game will get you the scoring title. It just so happened to be that JoJo got like
that's true as
fuck.
And a half. Yeah.
This dude's been put in a position where like you also play in the same era as Steph, which means no matter what you do, doesn't fucking matter. It's not near as good as what Steph's doing. So at the end of the day, it's like KG and Tim Duncan, dog. Like no matter what KG ever did, you ain't fucking best power forward in the league. Yeah. And there's been other eras where he would have been. Right now, he would be the best power forward in the league, unless I'm missing somebody. But I don't think that I am.
Pretty much any era except the Tim Duncan era, and probably Karl Malone is ahead of him. And aside from that, like KG would be that dude.
Right. We need to move on to the next episode.
Ja Morant scared straight. This actually wasn't an out of bounds episode. This was like our last Ballers episode. And but it was like after we'd taken a hiatus from Ballers for a minute. So this was kind of like whenever we was getting back to making NBA content again. So it actually kind of like rolled into it anyway. And this was originally done widescreen too, right? And then we just turned it into a talk.
Yeah, we just chopped it up.
This episode was dope,
legendary.
Yeah, Steven Jackson came through, did his own voice for real. That's actually Steven Jackson in it.
Yeah, it's funny, like the way we got him. So we actually did some work with him in the past. We did some work for All the Smoke. So he was familiar with our work already. We had talked to him a handful of times, and we actually created a full-length show. It was an animated show called Matt and Stack, and we centered it around the lives of Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson post-NBA. It was an animated show. And we took it out, but, we didn't end up selling it. But
obviously,
we took a screenshot of this episode and was like, Ja Morant, we coming for you, and just tagged Steven Jackson and Gilbert Arenas, and this dude DM'd us within like minutes and was like, oh man, I wish you would have, he's like, let me get the next one, or something like, oh, I wish you would have let me know. And I was like, shit, you want to do a voice? And he was like, yeah. I was like, can you do it immediately? And he was like, yes, in the script. And he had that audio over to us in literally like 15 minutes, just recorded it from his phone and then sent it over. And he was all about it though. Like he loved it.
It just makes me want to like just do more Stack shit just so he can voice it, even though we have nothing to put him in or anything to really do. Like, let's just put Stack in some shit and see if he'll just keep doing voices for us.
I ain't mad at that.
We got this episode. Like a lot of our fans, I feel like they're younger and they don't actually know like what went down with Stack. This fool was in the NBA. Ja Morant be flashing guns. Steven Jackson shot a gun at a person while he was in the NBA, dog.
He got ran over by a car and then got up and then just pulled the strap out and started firing. And it's funny because, like, if you look at the comments on social and shit when Steven Jackson was, like, trying to talk about this, there was a lot of people being like, oh, Steven Jackson, you a fake gangster, too. Like, oh, what's he know? Like, man, do your research because Steven Jackson is as real as it fucking gets.
Hey, this dude almost got kicked out the NBA twice. Not just for the gun thing. The gun thing was, like, it for him. Like, I saw, like, on an episode of All the Smoke, Isaiah Thomas is like, yo, you were done, man. I had to go talk to the commissioner for you. And then also the Malice in the Palace, Steven Jackson was in the stands with Ron Artest throwing hands with fans.
He was, man.
Best.
This dude.
Best shit ever.
2 times.
As real as it gets. I don't want to hear no slander on this dude's name when it comes to being real and authentic. Like, this dude is real.
Hold it down for the homies, dog. I don't think you could get away. Like, there's no way Steven Jackson, if that was today's NBA, he'd be done for sure. Like,
oh, definitely, man. I mean, Ja Morant flashes a gun and he's suspended 20 games.
Ja Morant puts his on fucking camera.
I'm just saying.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If Steven Jackson was on IG Live being like, I just shot at this motherfucker who hit me with a car. Bang, bang, motherfuckers. Like, obviously, motherfuckers getting suspended forever.
I'm just saying, like, this dude would too. Which I'm actually surprised he didn't, because David Stern had that heavy hand. He didn't fuck around.
But it was easier to cover shit up back then. And, like, no offense, but, like, if getting ran over by a vehicle isn't self-defense, then, like, nothing is.
Straight up though.
You know what I'm saying though? Like, then fucking nothing is. So at the end of the day, like, it's not ideal, but at the same time, homeboy got hit by a car and then immediately had to go to the dentist, I think, and get basically his whole shit reconstructed. So if I remember the story correctly. So I think that That shit was probably warranted. Next.
Yeah, gangster.
Next.
John Morant.
John Morant. We were having a lot of fun with John Morant. So
we did. We still do.
We do. This was the dumbest shit ever. This was right after John Morant got in trouble with the guns, and then a report came out that said he went to a counseling program for guns, or was it rehab or a counseling program? Which was it?
He went to a counseling program.
A counseling program to get help for his problems that he has with guns. So we thought it'd be best to just make fun of that and just show how full of shit the entire thing is, because nobody goes to counseling for guns. Like, this dude was just like up in Florida, probably fucking chilling, living his regular ass life. So we thought it'd be funny to just, give a little quick update and put him in the strip club.
Yeah, this was before he ever even flashed a gun again. This was after
Jalen Rose interview, right? After Jalen Rose interviewed him on ESPN. This was after that.
Probably, but I don't remember for sure.
This is right around the same time frame. I think it's before, because because another episode we have with Ja a couple episodes later talks about it's not.
That's right. This was definitely before, because we would have quoted that interview in this had that already happened.
This was right after the strip club shit dropped. So this was before Jaylen Brown, right whenever he's in the strip club at like 3 a.m. with his shirt off.
Yeah.
With the gun and shit, which is fine. Like, do you, player, but you got to be a little bit better about not putting that shit on there. And
next.
So what'd you?
Oh, that's a real baller's throwback. Oh, the MJ.
This is the best.
This is the one without the alternate ending, though. So
this is the one with the original ending.
So this is the one with the original ending, and everybody fucking hated it, which is a shame.
A little bit of backstory too. First, we made this one right after news had come out that Michael Jordan was in serious talks to sell the team. So we thought it would be best to basically call him out on how bad of an owner he is.
And what better way to do that than bring his old buddy Chuck into it?
Chuck, man. People want more Chuck. We got to bring more Chuck into the show. Every time he's in an episode, like, we need more Chuck. So we got to find a way to get some more Chuck in here.
And this is perfect to bring Chuck in, because if anyone doesn't know, like, the whole reason they ain't friends no more is because Chuck was criticizing MJ as an executive back in the day, and they ain't been friends for like 20 years or something now.
He took that shit hella personal. He couldn't beat his ass on the court no more, so he's like, fuck him, we ain't friends.
You'd think he'd try to fucking prove him wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't even try.
But yeah, this whole episode was basically just about, like, clowning MJ for how bad of an owner he is.
Consistently, his draft picks, nobody would have picked those players that
bottom tier. The dude picked up Adam Morrison. Like, that's enough. And then on top of that, Frank Kaminsky, Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown's fine. Like, everybody would have picked him, but like Adam Morrison third.
Won that year, so I ain't even mad at the Kwame Brown pick.
Nobody I ain't mad at that either. That's just bad luck.
Nobody thought that Adam Morrison should go in the top 3. No fucking body. Nobody who looks like that and has a mustache like that can fucking hoop. Nobody.
The funny thing about this episode is, like, this episode has been crazy on Facebook because it's got a ton of shares, and there's so many comments of people like they're pissed off that we like went after MJ.
Always, if you go at LeBron or you go at MJ, all it does is turn into everyone just talking shit. Well,
that's the thing. So like nobody like was really mad at us until the alternate ending. So this ending, which is the ending that I originally wrote. So anytime you hear jokes like this, there's a chance that I wrote it, but it's that he has cum in his poop. And everybody was like, what the? And everybody's like, what the fuck?
Hold on, say it again. What's the line?
He has cum in his poop.
He said, wait, hold on. What's Chuck say? Is it?
He says,
I remember when I won 6 rings.
And he says, I remember that you suck at golf and you have cum in your poop.
I remember you suck at golf and you got cum in your poop.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
That shit was like super funny. I mean, everybody's like, what the fuck? So
everybody thought it meant something. Like, what does that even mean? You got cum in your poop? Like, what is that? Is that like, is there truth behind this? What's the story behind this? Like,
I mean, there's only 2 ways to get cum in your poop, and that's to eat cum or take it in your asshole. So like, those are the only 2 ways it can happen. So use your imagination.
We literally were just doing a funny joke, but people are like, is there truth behind this? Like, I hope people are like online Googling like Michael Jordan cum in his poop. Like, what's the story behind this? Like, I hope that was happening, but there was literally nothing to it other than we just thought that shit was funny. It was like, stick it in
hilarious.
The shit that people even like. I love our fans, but anybody who was like, I wonder if this is like a deeper meaning or something, like, you think Michael Jordan just came out and was like, I'd like to announce that I've accomplished all I can accomplish in basketball, and also I have cum in my poop. like never fucking happened.
Maybe he got busted in like a situation or something that they didn't know about. I mean, I don't know.
That's the thing is like there could have been rumors in the 90s that MJ was gay, and if you're young and you wasn't around for that, you may not know.
But no, we just clowning. What's the new ending that went in there? You something about gambling? Oh,
you got kicked out the league for gambling. Look it up, America.
Just another fucking just bullshit conspiracy lie that we were just pushing.
That's what pissed everyone off was the new ending.
Yeah.
And everyone, like, if you look at the comments, especially on Facebook, because Facebook be the wild, wild west of like social media, dog. It's like Walmart over there. And
it's the Xbox Live of social.
Yeah, dog.
It is.
Be mad as fuck about shit. And there's tons of comments of people. He didn't get kicked out the league for gambling. You're spreading lies and that. It's like, we ain't spreading lies. This is a comedy network, dog. This ain't the news. Like,
right. We just talking shit because it's funny.
We just making jokes and saying shit that we that makes us laugh and hope it makes y'all laugh too. But yeah,
it was funny.
This episode is hilarious.
Yeah, dog. This is another podium episode, which originally the idea behind Out of Bounds was like, let's keep it as simple as possible. Like, let's predominantly keep them at the podium and make them go on their lives and shit. Like, anything that's as simple and easy as possible, like, let's just do that. And then we just started having too much fun and wanting to
got
crazy
wild.
ass. Yeah.
Got wild, actually. Another podium episode.
Oh, another podium. Here we go. This was actually, so this episode was made after the Grizzlies and Warriors. They just kept talking shit back and forth, and they had all those games coming up at the end of the season, and they kept saying it was a rivalry, and this shit ain't a rivalry. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, Golden State got championships, they're legends, Hall of Famers and shit. Like, you guys got so much to prove, so this ain't a real rivalry. So we wanted to do an episode on this, and this was also, again, Clown and Jock. There he is pulling the gun out right there.
That was actually the gun wasn't mine. It's not who I am. That was after the Rose interview.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And that made it in here where the reporter asked a question. And then going was mine's not who I am, and then he just pulled it out like he did in his IG video.
I mean, it's not. I mean, this motherfucker stays now. Like every single episode Ja's in now, he just flashes one, at least a little bit. He can't.
He has to now. But this was actually the first episode we did that went like super viral. Like each one was doing, we would see, a couple 100,000. One would do 1 million, but this one was like, I don't know. I think across the board, this shit did like probably like 7-8 million or something, and it did like 3 million on TikTok fast. So this was the first episode we did that was like this shit hit hard. And another funny joke, and this one's the joke at the end, which people were connecting dots that didn't exist there at the end. So he's like, the reporter's like, big brother, little brother situation. He's like, maybe if the little brother was an aborted fetus, and that's Dre's line. Maybe if the little brother was an aborted fetus, and people were like, oh, I see what you did there because Steph Curry almost got aborted. And he's like, man, y'all just connecting dots that don't exist.
What the fuck are you even talking about? That's still news to me. Like this is brand new information to me right Steph Curry
now. Almost aborted, but
that's true. His mom had come out in like an interview and said that she had almost aborted him. But yeah, they were like, oh man, like that's so funny, that's so smart and witty. Like y'all just put an abortion joke in there and Steph was almost aborted. And it's like
that is funny and witty.
It's like that's funny as fuck that is what happened. And had we known that, maybe we would have came with the even funnier line. But I'm pretty thinking of shit that could have been super funny.
Yeah, but that was not the case.
So fun. I wish I would have known that then, because that shit is hilarious.
I love watching just connect dots that don't exist. So we should just do some episodes sometime where we just completely make up some bullshit and fabricate something and just start spreading shit and see what our fans run with and see what they do. Just one time just to see.
Thanks.
Move on to the next one now.
That's the fifth. Part 2 commentary coming soon.
All right, y'all. We'll get you.
Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all.